I just came back from another meeting down at Horizon Line. Always a good place. It's like our new hangout spot, like we've said before. Had a good meeting. Finally got to meet Lauren Grant in real life. We featured her, a month or two ago?
Something
October?
like that. Yeah.
No, October.
October?
That was not a month or two ago. We featured her a while back. And we really love what she's doing with Zestful Kitchen. And we love the collaboration she and Reagan did of the Doa Deer. And it was really cool to see that collaboration from two makers. So we just talked more about that, talked about her goals, and we talked a lot about like content creation. And that got me thinking, at least, and talked with Andrew, who's behind, of course, the camera. We started talking about kind of remembering back when we started creating content for Maine DSM and like what that looked like. And featuring people was not at the top. Like we were focused on like the business itself, focused on if it was like a food restaurant, like reviewing the food, because Andrew's really passionate about food and I bring a different perspective to like a food review. We may still do a food review blog, right?
Why not?
Why not?
Still can.
Still can. But that wasn't the primary focus. And then we realized no one, when you look at DSM Magazine and you look at some other, more full-fledged outlets out there, like for a magazine or a digital blog, things like digital blog, that doesn't make sense. When you look at like a blog or a digital magazine covering Des Moines, the business and stuff always usually comes first. And now we're seeing more towards people. But prior to that, we weren't seeing that. And that's where we decided, hey, let's just focus on the people. And that's when we've get into that motto of the people make DSM. And that's where that all came from, which is kind of crazy to reflect back upon. And that all started about figuring out what content to put on there. So a big lesson learned there is try a few things out. And if it doesn't feel comfortable to you, figure out something different. And always have strategy in mind. So our strategy here is if you get to know the people, and this is not to be like our trick, we're not tricking you. It's more of like, this makes sense. If we get to know the person, we can figure out how we can better help them and better connect with them. And if you just follow the person, maybe they'll start 3 projects and you're following each project then, versus you're following the person and their projects versus each project individually. And I think that is more of an interesting journey and path to go along. And that is why we continue to focus more on that for the creation. But we've come to a realization that we want to do more. Of course you can always do more. And with us just talking about our last vlog, we were talking about now we're doing more services and how we can actually help you kind of go to that next level, whether it be content creation, storytelling, branding, actually strategizing around your community, what that community looks like, and then maybe offering any customer support if you get like crazy big and you have a product and you need some support for that. Because we found we have some expertise in those areas. And so that's cool, but we want to kind of refocus back on Maine DSM because that's where it all started, and we want to continue to build that up for all of you. And we want to continue to meet more and more people, and how do we capture those people that come to this site to not only get featured, but to expand a little bit more. So that's where you come in. If we could just have a favor, we're gonna have an email address at the bottom. We just would love if you could send us a message of like any content that you would love to see on mainedsm.com. We've been thinking of like tour guides. We've been thinking of, what else have we been thinking, Andrew?
Tour guides, food guides,
lots of guides.
We're
going to be doing meetups, so we'll of course have like a calendar, like meetups on there.
Collaborative blogs.
Yep.
So if you want to write an article or know someone who wants to write an article, those kind of things.
That stuff in. So we've kind of thought of some stuff. If you like one of those ideas, like say thumbs up, I like that idea, so we can validate that and continue to move forward. We would just love your input. We'll probably roll with something and try it out, because that's what you got to do, just try something and see what hits the pavement and keeps going. But we would love all of your input.